What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know we're about to get it in. But before we push it up in there, man, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put the notification bells on also. That way you're directed in the dope direction of the dope content that I'm bringing all week long. And I highly appreciate all the support that I'm getting. Now, in a Menudo style direct fashion, let's get straight to it. You see the thumbnail, so you already know what we're speaking on. The most haunted places in Califas, Cali, California. Call it what you want, man. The Golden State. It shines right because it keeps its mind right, you know? California, you know, there's a lot of haunted places that people don't speak on or they've never been and they can't talk about. Now, I'm not really into the paranormal like that, but I've seen some paranormal shit. Let's just keep it real. I've seen a lot of things that make you go, that make you wonder. I told stories before about a lot of haunted things. And right now, I'm going to direct you in the direction of some real paranormal activity, right? So a place that I actually did time in 1993-ish, right? The end of 93 was a place called Preston School of Industry, Preston, CYA, the California Youth Authority. And when I was there, the castle that you guys see, that everyone sees, man, was shut down. Okay, I didn't sign up for castle cleanup, Spencer. That was a long running joke that we had. You know, we used to tell new booties, fresh fish, people that just got off the bus, hey, go sign up for castle cleanup, homie. We're gonna go clean the castle up. They do it, and the cops would laugh at them. The YCs, the youth counselors would laugh at them, tell them get the fuck back to their bunk. They're stupid. That was it. But there's a lot of activity that has went on. A lot of people that have seen weird shit go on in that castle. That is one of the most haunted places in California. It's located in Ione, California. Okay, and it was once a reformatory for kids. It was once the spot, basically the youth authority, where they sent the children, where they sent a lot of disadvantaged teens or a lot of teens that were acting out, you know, they were sent there. Now, there was people there for rape, murder. There was people there for all kinds of different cases. Back in them days, if you acted out as a youth, that is one of the places you went. Okay? Well, there's a lot of things that happened there. A lot of people said there was a lot of abuse going on to the wards. There was a lot of deaths that occurred. But one of the main deaths that happened in Preston that made it so infamous was there was actually a woman that was actually captured by one of the wards and tortured and killed. A lot of people subsequently since that day have said that they've seen or heard her scream or have seen, you know, different things, different objects move. You know, I can't sit here and tell you that I ever seen anything at Preston. I could tell you that there's a lot of people with a lot of stories out there that say they have, you know, but I'm going to tell you for sure, you know, at night, it did seem eerie. There was a presence there. There was something. Now, a couple times, a couple of my homeboys, when I was locked up in a place called Tamarack, did say that when they were on the main line, they did see lights flickering on and off in the castle. Now, I don't know if that was just a malfunction or maybe some type of electricity, some electric shit going on, or if they were really seeing that. But a lot of these guys that were telling me this were real serio. They weren't the type to play games. They were doing a duration. They were doing a long time. There was no room or wiggle room for just bullshitting. You know, a lot of them seen crazy stuff. Now, having come from Fred C. Nellis, which was located, of course, in Whittier, California, another youth authority, I did see some paranormal shit. That's a fact, man. I remember looking out of the window one day and I actually seen a ghost dribbling a basketball out there on the yard. Facts. Can't bullshit you, wouldn't bullshit you, man. My bunkie at the time, not my celly, but my bunkie at the time was a vato from Clanton 14th Street, a sureño from down south. And he's actually the one that brought it to my attention. He said, hey, fool, look, am I fucking crazy? Look at that. And I looked and I was like, oh, hell nah. And that was a real north and south connection right there because we were scared as fuck. We seen what we seen. So I don't bypass nothing when it comes to stories about paranormal activity. I choose not to go indulge in the frivolous behavior or go looking for it. You know, I'm not chasing ghosts. I'm not a ghost buster. No pun intended. But at the same time, I do understand that Preston does have a long history of people seeing, you know, apparitions or ghosts and things of that nature. Now, that is what considered one of the most haunted places in California. But this next place I'm going to talk about, indubitably, man, I seen some weird shit go on, man. I can only wonder if they see it now. And that's Castle Air Force Base, located right out of the city of Merced, like right down the street, 10 minutes away. And it's located in between Atwater and Merced, okay, right off Santa Fe Road. And this place, as a young kid, man, I seen some crazy shit. There's a lot of people that'll tell you, just cruising down the street. It's now an air museum. Of course, they have the U.S. Penitentiary in the back now, which is Atwater Penitentiary, the MAX facility. But prior to that, this was an old Air Force base. A lot of things happened there. They had a big medical facility. A lot of fucking people died. It was established in the 1900s, early 1900s. It was very old. I remember one time me and my Theo were cruising. We were on our way to Livas, to Livingston. We were going down Santa Fe. We were going to go through Winton, bust down Walnut, hit Livas, man. Anyone that knows. And as we're cruising, I seen a flicker of a light, and I turned to the right because it's on your right-hand side if you're going towards Livingston. And as I turned towards my right, man, I'm not going to bullshit you. They had this one plane there. It was an old bomber, man. Had the face like of a demon or the face of a shark. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I seen the lights flickering on and off. Now, a lot of people said they seen that. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I know what I seen. I stamped that. Facts, right? I've heard of many deaths. Many people come up missing at the Castle Air Force Base, and a lot went on. What I did dive into, because I did my homework on this one, was that there was a lot of research. It was actually a research facility on the base. So they were doing a lot of research, meaning that they were testing people for diseases. This is back in the days they were preparing for guerra. They were preparing for war. So they would test people. So there was a lot going on. So maybe, some weird shit happened there, and now the ghosts are struggling to get on back. But I did absolutely see that, man. That's a fact, right? Now, that is, to me, is considered one of the most haunted places in California, Castle Air Force Base. Now, this next place, they made a movie about it. There ain't no denying it, man. We know what it is. And that's the Winchester Mystery House. It's located in San Jose, California. I've been there as a kid, passed by it many a times, right? And wasn't really up to par, up on game on the history of the house. I just thought it was an old, creepy looking house with a lot of fucking rooms. But when I watched the movie that they made just a while back, then I got some in-depth history. Now, I understand Hollywood is Hollywood. They're going to put 2 on the 10 and make it just a little bit more outlandish than it probably should be. But at the same time, I understand the history to be true. Winchester is, of course, associated with the rifles, with guns. And of course, according to the movie, this lady, the wife of, Mr. Winchester, started to see ghosts. She started to see a lot of paranormal activity, and she felt that building these rooms, she could lock these ghosts, these phantoms or what she was seeing into these rooms, and then that way they couldn't hurt her family. Now, a lot of her family members did die. They say it was the Winchester curse. I don't know this to be true. I just know that there's been a lot of paranormal activity that has subsequently come up to the surface on that. A lot of people have said they've seen things. I'm going to tell you about my prima. Now, I have a prima, right? And she don't live in this state anymore, man, or she doesn't live where I live. She wiggled on, man. She lives in Montana, okay? She got the fuck as far away as she could from California because of this incident. Immediately after this incident, she got the fuck on down the road, man. I remember that. As a young kid, I remember like, no way. She seen a ghost? She got on, right? Ain't no Patrick Swayze bullshit here. So now, trip out. Her and her familia were going to go to the Winchester Mystery House. For those of you that don't know, it's an attraction now. Now you can go into the house. Certain parts of the house is not off limits to the public. You pay your money, you go in there. There's some fucking little things that you see. It trips you out, whatever, right? She actually went there. What she described seeing was a demon. Okay, she didn't see a ghost. She said she seen a demon. Okay, they left that house. I remember the cops had to go actually get her from that home. She was actually that scared she wouldn't leave the room she was in. They said, of course, they thought it was just all fun and games. It wasn't. Immediately, she went back to her pad, packed her shit up, and got on down the road. Her whole family moved. Now, I know a lot of people say I call bullshit on that. Facts, right? I've went to the Winchester Mystery House. I've been in there, man. I've never felt nothing. I've never seen ghosts. I never tripped out like that. When I seen the movie, I was like, it ain't nothing like that shit, right? But at the same time, my prima swears up and down she's seen something, that she can only describe as a demon. To this day, she puts her stamp on it. Facts. It is considered by many as one of the most haunted places in California. I know a lot of my homeboys, a lot of my friends have been there. They haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything. So I can't put the stamp on it besides what she has said and what she has told me. But I know coming from a lot of other people, it is considered one of the most paranormal active place. It's active as fuck, right? In California, man. San Jose, California, Winchester Mystery House, one of the most haunted places in California. Now, this place doesn't really get spoken on too much, I'm going to speak on. And as a young kid, we went here, man, and I could only describe the aura and the feeling kind of compared to like a Wes Watson video, you know what I mean? Is what I thought. And then I got shook a little bit, right? So look, this is what it was. There was a place, a show called the Ponderosa or Bonanza. I think it was Bonanza. And there used to be a place called the Ponderosa. When you go towards Sacramento, California, it's actually an attraction, or was when I was a young kid. And I remember they took us as kids to the Capitol. A lot of the fucking, in Northern California, a lot of the schools, that would be a field trip that you would go on. When you hit a certain age, they would take you to the Capitol. You would go to Old Sac. You would go to the Capitol, go eat lunch on the Capitol building, right by the Capitol building in the front at the park and whatever, right? But I remember us on the way back stopping at this place, man. I remember, if I distinctly remember, there was like a big chicken in front of it. There was like a fucking chicken restaurant or chicken ranch restaurant. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I was a young kid, right? It's hard to remember. But I remember going in this place and they had steps that turned sideways and there was a lot of funny mirrors and they had built it into an attraction, but it was actually the place where they filmed the show Bonanza and it was called the Ponderosa, if I'm for sure. And we went in there. And I remember me and my friend, one of my good homeboys, Jose Munoz, man, we decided to wiggle apart from the group, right? You know how young kids are. We're young little northerners already. Fuck this to this north there, right? We're going over here to wiggle. We should have never wiggled, homie. Because what we heard and what we seen at that place can only be described sheer horror, homie. Straight up facts, right? We heard voices. We seen things. Now, I don't know if it was the people there meant to scare us. We were young kids. Maybe they were just trying to give us a hard time. But we booked it. We took off running, got back to the group, told our teachers, yep, yeah, we said it. Is that snitching? I don't know. Hey, there's a fucking ghost. That's it, right? Get us up out of here, man. Teachers didn't buy it. Whatever. We wiggled on. Never did I return. It's crazy because I tell a lot of my homeboys and my primos about that place. They've never seen it. They're like, hey, you're full of shit. That place doesn't even exist. It did. I remember as a kid, I seen it, man. To me, it's a slept on place, but it's quietly one of the most haunted places that I ever seen in my life. The Ponderosa or whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? It's a trip. Now, this last place I'm going to tell you about, it's facts, right? I've kind of told the story a little bit, but this is true. And that's Napa Valley, right? And now I'm speaking, you notice a lot of these places I'm speaking on are in Northern California. I know about the Queen Mary and Long Beach. I know about all these different things. But I'm speaking on where I've mostly been or what I've seen or what I know. I can't delve into something I don't know because I've never been there, homie. But facts are that this place right here, man, words can't explain, right? The Napa Valley, the whole area, the vineyards, the wine country, right? I had firsthand experience with ghosts. I had firsthand experience with some crazy shit, homie. Facts, right? So trip out. My grandmother actually married, after she divorced my grandfather, years past, she marries this guy. He was a little bit crazy, man. Rest in peace, Ralph. He's gone now. But I remember, he had a family with money, but he didn't have money. I remember he had a Harley, fucking funny ass hair, big old catfish eyes, was crazy looking. But I love the fact that he respected my grandmother. He was good for her, and he was actually good to me. And I remember the fact the first day we met, man, I walked into her little old trailer, roaches everywhere, man. It was one of those places you had to do it. You know what I mean? You had to do, everybody was roaching, fighting. Right? I was kung fu fighting around that motherfucker. So I remember walking in and a big old giant roach is laying on the couch. And he said, who the fuck are you? I was a little kid. Who the fuck are you? Right? And bam, that was where our relationship took place. Boom. He became grandfather. That was Grandpa Ralph. His parents passed. And when his parents passed, they had a big home in Napa, in the Napa Valley, right? Now, you got to understand that he's coming from money. He just was the outcast of the family, the black sheep. But he really was sleeping on a whole lot of money. He just wasn't letting my grandmother know. Dirty motherfucker, right? Something like I would do. But I ain't got none. So anyways, this Vato, between his siblings, he had a sister and a brother. They wanted to sell the parents' home, but it needed to be renovated and fixed up. And I remember I was a little kid, 7, 8 years old, enough to know what was going on, but not enough to know the grown-up business. But anyways, so he told me, it was going to be me. My Theo was a couple years older than me, him, And then his family members, we were going to go to this house and we were going to paint it. We were going to paint it. He was going to lay some carpet. You know, we were going to fix it up because ultimately they were going to sell this home and they were going to split the money 3 ways and boom, everything was going to be good. I was going to get a present at Kmart, Blue Light Special. I was happy. So I was going to get my paintings worth. So I remember I was going to this place and, you know, it's not no drama like his parents died there. It was tragic. They were murdered. Nothing like that, man. It was just a big, nice home. And I remember, you know, there were some holes in the walls and it just needed to be fixed up. But it wasn't like, I wasn't scared when I went there. I was like, fuck, at least it's warm in here, right? And it was good. And I remember we had took sleeping bags because we weren't going to get motels. We were going to all sleep in the living room, whatever, man. My grandfather was going to take us to go to McDonald's, eat, things of that nature, right? So we're painting, we're doing our thing. It's a Saturday. And I remember that night, my grandfather and his brother and his brother's homie, they're drinking. They're getting drunk, whatever, man. The kids, we ate, we're kicking back. He had his brother, it was his brother's 2 sons, and then his homeboy's son, and then myself, my tío. So there was about, combined, there's probably about 10 people there. Maybe 9, 10, whatever, right? So we're kicking back. And I remember it was time to go to sleep. It was getting late, about 11 o'clock at night. And we all laid our sleeping bags out in the living room, you know, and everyone got in their sleeping bags. Everyone's going to crash out. It's what it is. We're going to wake up early in the morning, finish painting this shit so we can get on down the road. And I remember waking up about 8 in the morning and I was asleep in the bathroom, in the bathtub, right? My tío, who's a couple years older than me, facts, man. He was asleep in another room. My grandfather was in another room. Everybody was in their sleeping bags in different rooms. Now immediately I thought that my grandfather and his brothers and them, they fucking just put everyone in a different room just playing games, joking, right? Tricks. No tricks, man. As soon as my grandfather woke up, his brother woke up, we got on, right? He said, hell no. There was some paranormal activity shit going on there, right? I've heard, because I researched it. You know, when I got older, I never forgot that. Never forgot the feeling that I had when I woke up and I was shocked. Everybody was in different rooms. Something moved us. We didn't just get up and fucking walk. Not everybody sleepwalks, right? Something definitely moved us, you know. It was unexplainable. So I did research and found out that there's a lot of paranormal activity in Napa Valley, man. There's a lot going on there. So, man, if you're ever in that area, you know, you better watch out. You better not cry. Them ghosts will get your ass. And I'm telling you why. Now, luckily, these stories that I tell you, nothing bad has happened to me. You know, but this last one is a trip. You know, this last one, you feel a eerie presence and you know something's there, right? So I met this chick and she's actually one of my baby mamas, right? I'm not going to speak her name because I don't want to put her on blast, but she, when I met her, she was renting a room from these paisas. There was a paisa lady that had a whole bunch of rooms and she would rent them out to paisas. And my chick at that time happened to be renting one of these rooms, right? So she couldn't have visitors over there. You couldn't just mob through there and whatever, because this lady was mean that was renting these rooms. And so I used to slide through the window like, let me get up in this motherfucker. I'm trying to fuck, right? I'm sleep and all that. And then she would go into the kitchen, cook, bring food back and whatever, right? So I remember I'm kicking back on the bed. She had went to go take a shower. She was probably over there jacking one of the paisas off. I don't know. Can't call it now that I think about it, right? But anyway, she slid off to go take her little shower. And I was in that motherfucker grimy, just got done hitting it, you know what I mean, sticky. And I look up in her closet and she has a Ouija board, man. And I've never liked those things. I've never been into those things. I always thought, man, those are doorways for evil, right? You know, that's what I've always been told. And I seen some shit. So I believe, I'm a true believer in there's weird shit. There's other shit out there. There's evil. If there's good, there's evil. Let's just keep it real. So I'm just tripping out on it. And she comes in from her shower and I'm like, hey, why you got a Ouija board? She's like, oh, I found that at a yard sale. It's no big deal. She's like, but don't touch it. Don't touch it. I'm like, stop it. You know what I mean? She was like, no, for reals. Because I be seeing weird shit around here ever since I touched it. I played it and I see weird shit. And so whatever, right? So a couple days pass. I slide back through, shower time again. Because, you know, I'll be taxing it, right? So she slid off to the shower again. Again, I'm dirt dick dog, right? I'm grimy, laying in the fucking bed. And I said, man, let me see what this fucking thing's about, man. Facts. This is real. I actually grabbed it, opened it, didn't play it, but went to look at it. And she had this, it was like a ribbon or I don't know what it was. And it had like a one of those, you know, the Native Americans, what do they have? Dream catchers. I had one of the dream catchers on it. That motherfucker just started swinging. No wind blowing, no air. It just started swinging, right? I put that motherfucker up, slid out through the window. I remember her calling me like, what happened? I said, let me tell you about two things that happened. First of all, I touched the game and shit started swinging around there. And two, I need a shower because I haven't showered in 2 days. And that was about it, man. And that's facts, man. So those are some of the most haunted places or things that I've seen in California, man. Believe it or not, that's totally up to you. I know there's a lot more crazy shit that goes on, but these are facts and things that I've seen and that have happened in my life and things that I have heard of, man. And that's no fucking games, right? That's real talk. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose, get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, I know a lot of you have seen a lot of weird things. Leave some comments. Let me know what you see, man. I'm getting ready to do some research. I'm getting ready to go hit a couple of these haunted places, man. I think some paranormal activity hunting might be coming up soon, man. I don't know. You let me know if that's something that you would be interested in. It's something I'm definitely interested in. I know I talked to a homeboy, a good friend of mine, and he wanted to get together and actually go to, I don't know if you know who the Warrens are. They have that doll, Annie, the movie Annie or whatever, or what is it called? Annabelle. He actually wanted to go there. I was thinking about going there with them. Can't call it like an alcoholic. Let me know if you guys would like to see that content. With that being said, man, I hope that you guys have a great day and an evil night. Bang, bang.